Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I'm going to play some rank grind in the Frontier Mode using my foundation cards. And I've already run a few battles. I still need to win probably 10 more in order to unlock my daily rewards completely. And that's what we're going to be aiming at doing today. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. While we're doing it, we'll chat about Splinterlands and the rest of my cards and maybe my other plans. If that sounds interesting, stick around. Let's get into it. Okay, Pretzelio, 620 rating. Mine's 540 or something. Blood and Thunder and Broken Arrows. Blood and Thunder kind of nullifies Incessant Sage, which is one of my two improved summoners. I feel like this is the obvious choice because there's no archery and the armor is damaged, and I have a level 2 of Marley. However, because it's the obvious choice, I then think Thalgar more because it's the only one that has a void tank. I actually think that might be the deciding factor. Or I go this way and lean into sneak attacks opportunity, which is quite powerful. Ooh, okay. My opponent, 600 rating. He's a higher level rating than me. He's gonna use a Thalgar more. I think I have to go. See, this is what's going to happen. My opponent's going to use that because this is going to silence the magic, and then he's probably got Sorrow Harvester. However, I don't have any other significant damage doers with this one, so I have to go white, even though this might not be sufficient. And I think we just go boom, boom, 2 big meat shields, 2 sneak opportunity, sneak. So what we're doing is we're really leaning into sneak and opportunity, and we're just giving as much hit points as we can on the front line, including this one right here. So I've got 6 hit points here, 5 hit points here, 6 hit points here, and twice Yester is not going to fight from the second position, but that's okay. It's literally just frontline meat shield. I have a taunt to start things off with, and as you can see, I upgraded my Minotaur, my new Bellarok Aegis Minotaur. And I upgraded twice Yester as well. This is a new card I won recently. I upgraded this Canuck Miner, Sheringham Logger. The only one I haven't upgraded Vengeful Monk. I should. Okay, so let's have a peek. See how that goes. I bet I'm feeling strong. My opponent will do what I said, going death. Let's see. Death with the Nimgard, because Broken Arrows means that I'm either going melee or I'm going magic. And if I go magic, he wants the Nimgard. Plus, as you can see, he has the Sorrow Harvester, which is dropping significant amount of damage. And then he has the Life Leech Little Sister, which can be super annoying the longer it lives, right? Because that Life Leech. And he's using the taunt to sort of cover the backside, both literally and metaphorically of his team, literally in the sense that he put it here on the back line, but the taunt itself draws all physical attacks. So he's covered from arrows because there are none. He's covered by magic because he's got a void, and he's covered by physical because he's controlling me with a taunt. Hopefully I'm bringing enough damage, 2, 4, 5 sneak attack, rear damage, which will kill him on the second round. Let's find out if it works. He's doing 3 magic damage per turn, and I have no magic sort of limiter, or you know, that's gonna rip through me is what I'm saying. But I give myself quite a bit of meat shield on the back line. Was it enough? Oh, see, that opportunity kill is annoying. Yeah, we're done. If I could have killed this one before we went down, but see, look at how that Life Leech on the Little Sister is just. It's just enough. It's not much, but by the time that taunt goes down, she's got 5, 6 hit points. Suddenly, like in this mode with this version of the game, 5 or 6 hit points is actually quite a bit, because most damage doers do 1 or 2. As I said, I've earned one of my rewards already, but we are trying to earn 3, so hopefully we'll win 10 more matches. I don't know if I'll be able to do that all in this play, in this session, but we'll do what we're able. Okay. Look, my opponent likes the death play I just showed you. He's a level 1 death monster or summoner. With less mana, Again, broken arrows. I gotta think it's gonna be the same thing, but there won't be a taunt this time. Maybe I go more full frontal assault. That's not gonna work. Oh, blue. No. Green. I'm looking for monsters that have two damage output. With the rise of commons, they're even weaker. But look at this, this white team is 2, 2, 2. Those are 3 options I could field. That's 27. Now, if he does the Thalgrim or whatever that guy, the Death Summoner Archon's name was, you know, he's gonna relatively easily rip through me. However, it's Rise of the Commons, meaning he doesn't have his epic 2 damage monster. I think that's an epic. Let's give this a shot. Even though I can imagine this possibly not being enough, I think it's the best I'm able to field. Okay. Okay. It's a big kill. Will I kill? Yes, good. So now it's over. The matches are far more simple. Like they're not 50 different considerations. You know, with even a modern, with a modern battle, you come in to look at Archons. Let's just look at Modern League. That's not right, is it? Boom, boom. Looking at Modern League, these are my options. Look at how many summoners this is. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 32, 35. There are 35 summoners that I can choose from. Now, I don't have every single one of these, but I have most of them. And to have most of these and the combinations that they each imply, you know, something like probably, you know, it might be 300 cards. 300 different cards I can choose from. And so the implications of that is that there's such complexity in a modern league battle that don't exist here in Foundation. And that can be good. And it can also be frustrating. Like one of the criticisms I see in the comments about Foundation or Frontier Mode is that someone said this, and I thought it was really actually insightful. He said, it's too easy and it's too hard. It's too easy in the sense that there's like limited choices to pick from, and that makes your path forward more obvious. But then it's too hard because there's the more obvious pathway against an insightful opponent, a wise opponent. They know what you're gonna do, and you know what I mean. There's less versatility, there's less variability, there's less personal agency for you to do something, and therefore, you know, it's a little bit rock paper scissors sometimes. Like it's you have 5 different options, not 500, and that's, like I say, that's good, and it's also frustrating at times. It can be both. Okay, magic. So we're not going to magic. Let's go melee again. We've leaned into this a bit too much for me to feel confident about this, but we're going to do it. Boom, boom, boom. And now I think we were going to pull back on. Probably we're going to pull back on that because the taunt is going to be okay because the magic probably isn't coming because of counterspell. And then I'm going to load up on as much archery as I can. So I got 4 archery damage output. I got 2 of these guys, which I like having. I love this combo. The sneak from the Sherigan. 5 hit points is a good amount of hit points considering it's also damaging from the back line, the sneak damage. And then you have the Vengeful Monk, which is a clutch card, doing the 2 and the 4 hit points. This is one of my This is one of my weaknesses in terms of its limited hit points. The Hungry Ulan will be a tasty distraction for any of my opponent's opportunity monsters. Ooh, I gotta go like that because snipe. And so my higher hit point monster will be this one. It's put forward into the snipe position to attract the snipe attacks. Taunt first though, right? Interesting what he did here. So he put the taunt over here. I mean, I see what he was thinking. Like, the taunt will distract my attacks while his front line, in particular the Fury Bringer, is allowed to do damage with the 2 damage output with the reach. And maybe these two are, that's pretty meaningful, 6 damage. And he's also probably thinking I'm going to miss this a lot. And he's probably right, because of the dodge and the 4 speed plus the 5 speed, the 1 extra speed from the Bartholomew. But here's the thing. Strategically speaking, it would have been wiser to form up in a different pattern with the new Bellaruk Aegis in the front line, this Scales of Justice in the 3rd spot, because then your taunt monster actually can hit me with melee damage. He can't do anything here, so you've sacrificed 1 melee damage output, and the evasiveness or the threat of evading my attacks would have still existed. Like, because of the snipe, you could have known anything I do, he's coming that way. So I don't get the formulation here. Let's see. It doesn't mean I'm gonna win, by the way. Just because I think that's an interesting. Look, I missed a shot. I'm probably still gonna lose, but I don't think it's ultimately because of the correct formulation of a team. I think it's my cards are being outdone by that speed. Ooh, that's a big. Oh, we are gonna pull it off. That speed is so helpful, and I must have missed 4 different shots on that battle. I think it was close enough that if he had built the team in the way that I suggested, who knows? He could have got 2 damage extra out of his Bellaruk tank from the front line instead of trying to bury it in the back. I don't know what would have happened. Shades of gray. Only neutrals. I don't feel like this is going to be particularly effective for me. Okay, so let's go magic, and then we'll go, and everybody's got snipe. So we'll go those 2, and I got magic with the buff. Then we need to keep them alive. So we do a taunt, and then let's go just bury these guys. So taunt to distract my opponent's snipe attacks, because everybody's got snipe. My opponent's probably doing the exact same thing as me. Do they have the upgraded new Bellaruk Aegis? Do they have the Great Bear Druid? These actually, I think this one came in the campaign mode. Regardless, these are the extra hit points are probably what sets me apart. Now, here's the thing I could do. Maybe I go Vengeful Monk instead of. That's more damage. So that's more damage, but then if he's almost certainly doing what I'm doing, which means his snipe damage is going there. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. I'm torn a little bit. So I have 7. I think I could do this. There. So I've done a little bit of both. So I took the Grand Console minion, which is going to do 1 damage. It's also a snipe protector in front of my Great Bear Druid. And I took the Canuck Miner, which is doing 1 damage output. And it's 3 hit points plus 1 hit point, 4 hit points. Or I take the Met Vigil Monk, which is 4 hit points. Or I take the Smellmonger and the Grand Console minion, which is 2 hit points. So this is like the most hit points I can get with the maximum damage output and a little bit of snipe protection with the taunt in the front. Let's see. He's got his taunt in his back line again. Why? The taunt in the back line makes a lot of sense if your front line is super deadly. Like, if your front line is doing 2 damage output, but has like 1 hit point, which there are monsters in this set that do that. And remember, 2 damage output is a lot of damage in this mode. So if you get high damage but low hit points, then it makes sense to distract me with a taunt and pull my attention away from your front line. But if you're literally putting a taunt to distract me so that your spellmonger can live longer, I don't get that. Now, maybe he's thinking I leaned into, you know, to archery and magic, and he's just trying to taunt my archery and magic away from affecting him. But even if I assume that, remember, it's neutrals only, so he knows roughly what I have. Like, we have neutrals only really limits how many cards you have access to. And so I just really think this is a mistake in terms of his placement, and yet we saw it 2 matches in a row. And then I think this is a mistake, and I think also this is an obvious mistake. This at minimum should be in front of the Great Bear, because the Great Bear, even though it has the 1 melee and can fight from the front line, you don't want it to fight from the front line. You want it to be doing 2 magic damage, 2 because of Marley. The longer it stays alive, the better. And this thing should be allowed to be a snipe protector. I think again, I don't know if I'm going to win. Even though all those things, all those explanations of this are right, I could still, you know, we could still lose. Yeah, we are going to lose, aren't we? Yeah. Enough of my damage and attacks have just kind of gone here and there and everywhere. Oh, 1 hit point. 1 hit point. But I mean, I hope despite me losing, that my explanation of that team formation communicates something meaningful. Let's keep going. Okay. Thorns, again, broken arrows. These restrictive rule sets with the broken arrows or the thorns, even, it's when you already have such a limited pool of cards. I guess this is, you're gonna go Marley, but then because that's the only observable or logical choice, you kind of have to go Thalgrimor because of the Void Dank. But while my Nimgard is, you know, a bit upgraded or whatever, or better, like, this is a good sound card. My Summoner is just too low, and some of these other cards are just too low. So I don't really imagine that it's going to work for me. Nevertheless, we're going to do it. I'm going to put the Spinetail Fiend up front because it does 2 damage, and if I can get it to punch his front line once before it dies, that would be probably quite meaningful. And then I'm gonna put this Spellmonger in there because my opponent may bring, actually, I'm gonna bring that one. Because if my opponent brings a sneak attack monster, it's gonna, this card, Arcane Curator, has 4 speed, which is quite evasive with the backfire, which is great. And Thorns is already built in, and so I don't need to bring Spellmonger. And one of my concerns is that an opportunity monster will attack the little sister, but the little sister is going to steal life, and so it will quickly pull itself away from the 3 damage. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'll go to 4 life, and then it'll no longer, this will be the target. So this protects against sneak and opportunity. Okay. Yeah, see, he tried something similar. He's got more hit points on the field and more damage output. One of my damage doers is going to die from the thorns for sure. Is going to do meaningful damage in the meat before it goes down. My goodness. One of my main mistakes there. I buried my Arcane Curator, expecting in case of a sneak attack. I should have really cautioned myself against that because, again, I strongly believed my opponent was going to pick Thalgrimor. I know what, and I also knew Thorns was available. So I don't know why I was so concerned. I absolutely needed to keep my magic damage doers alive. Anyways, I don't know if repositioning that one card would have changed anything. He had 3 magic damage doers. I had 2. Silence Archon's Ferocity. Let's try something different. Boom, boom. That's all I can afford. Is that gonna work? It's 4 damage. I feel like... So hang on, 6, 18. That might, yeah. That might be... Alternatively with the white, I could go... This is 16. I have 18 points to spend on my units. With the white team, I could put out a tank for 7, a sneak attack monster for 7. No, see, this is one of my better teams with the kicking rock as 3. We'll see if it's enough. The opportunity is going to kill my kicking rock and I lose. Or do I though? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. How are we doing for wins? We need 2 more on this chest or whatever. Melee only, 5 only. Let's go white with the armor, right? And then I don't really... The taunt is possibly valuable. If I could have done that, I would. Sneak, sneak, and 2 damage in the front. I think like some of the concerns that I'm thinking through is like I could put the taunt monster could be really helpful in terms of distracting my opponent. But if I use that, then I'm only going to be able to squeeze in one of these sneaker opportunity monsters, and I can't even do the second. So, you know, then maybe I go like this with the magic, but again, you know, maybe the play is coming away from white because the mana is a little too low, and I go blue and I go taunt with the magic. And at least this way I'm doing 2 magic damage. Now if he does death and focuses actually on melee, I'm probably gonna die. But this magic damage could be enough. I'm trying to think through if there's any other alternatives. Like, I don't think so. The self-healing on green does 2 heals per turn, but Greybeard Bear is going to do 3 damage when he's in the front line. Ooh. Two, 4. I like this actually. So 1 damage Plus 2 damage is 3 on the front line, and an opportunity will probably attack the front line for 4. And I've got faster speed. Let's give that a shot. So we're gonna my Echelon is gonna attack his Echelon, but I actually wish it wasn't, because I wish we were focused on the front line together. Well, that misses. That one misses huge, and then we couldn't get another off. Too bad. That's interesting how my taunt was a problem to me. If my damage, my offense was being spread across his back line where it wasn't finishing anyone, and his front line where it wasn't finishing anyone. His damage was all focus fire onto my one taunt monster, and he won. Sometimes taunting is good, like is bad for you and good for your opponent. And it's funny because it's like, I think it's a factor of how much damage per second you're able to register. Because if your taunt is allowing your damage per second to meaningfully add up, you're gonna win. And if it isn't, then you're not. And so that's a bit of a distinction between Frontier Mode and Modern, because usually the damage per second is meaningful in Modern, and it's not necessarily here. Interesting. Okay, Fog of War. There's no charge cards. There's no, So ultimately, I'm really looking at magic or archery with 50 mana. I'm tempted to try green because of the kicking rock. And we have a Wilhelmdale Deputy, so that's 5 damage right there. Look at this beast over here, by the way, Guillemot. 11 hit points. That's going to be good because it'll give the kicking rock that much more time to do its thing. Self-healing Dread Tartarian. And then do we do maybe this with the 7 hit points, cleanse. Now there is no poison, so it's irrelevant. There's not a noxious fumes. There's also no poison monsters, so I probably don't need to worry about that. But 7 hit points is still 7 hit points. Alternatively, we put in the taunt. And now, here's the deal though. If I do the taunt, I'm not damaging him. My taunt is one of my 2 frontline monsters is not damaging him. If I go this way, I'm damaging him, I'm damaging, all my monsters are hitting his front line. This one allows my Time Bandit. My Time Bandit in second spot will fire when it's in the first position after Leolin or Dread Tarfarian dies. But this is 11 hit points, and it's kind of maybe it's a better meat shield, and the magic damage might be more meaningful, you know? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try and, because 1 damage is not that meaningful, we're gonna do the taunt distraction thing. Some of his monsters, his front line's gonna attack my Dread Tarfarian, and some of his monsters are gonna attack here, and that's gonna divide his onslaught. Let's see if that effectively works. He's got 3 magic damage. Dealers are gonna rip through turn 1. They're gonna go through him. But turn 1, are we going to go through him? Let's find out. We both had to wait till turn 2 to kill our opponent's front line. Eesh, he got through he's pulling away, but then my Geofam or whatever has huge hit points. Wow. This legendary, my Guillaume Root with 11 hit points was definitely the thing that he couldn't overcome there. His damage ripped through, he moved faster through my taunt tank and through my primary tank. He moved faster than I did through his versions of that. He killed my second position before I killed his second. He killed my first before I killed his first. And it was looking like he was going to win. And then he ran into the 11 hit point wall of my Guillaume route. Let's try and get one more. We'll claim these 2 at least, okay? Our RP at 560 now. We're 140 away from ranking up. Melee only with a good amount of hit points. Or sorry, mana points. Still tempted to go blue because of that 1 melee monster that has magic, and 2 damage from magic is pretty meaningful. Probably gonna do that. But this is pretty, like, this is 6 damage. 2 from the front with a good amount of hit points. Sneak and opportunity. Now all my attacks are going 3 different ways. Frontline, opportunity, and sneak. And that might be a problem. And I can't, the taunt with the magic I can't do, which is probably a problem also. I think I'm gonna need this taunt distraction. Like, whoever uses the taunt distraction well in this match will win better. Is more likely to win. That's not the play. That's not, like, other than this. This is not as effective in terms of hit points. For me, I have to play white. But if you had a better Port Guardian or a better Colossus Raider or a better, because 1 hit point is not enough, or 6 is not enough, the 2 damage, 1 damage is not enough. You know, this is my maximum damage, and I think I need to do it like that. So, do I forfeit this opportunity 2 damage to bring out another sneak? Now we got 2 sneakers. At least we're focusing fire. I think this is what we're going to do. I don't love this. I'm giving up a 2 damage opportunity monster, but now I'm focusing fire a bit more. And I'm giving another, I have 6 monsters on the field, not 5. And the taunt is over there. And to be clear, this Papri Cash is just literally a meat shield. And so we've got 2 damage on the front that we're hoping to stay alive as long as we can because of the taunt, or through the taunt. We have double sneak and we have 1 magic monster. Let's give it a shot. So he definitely played the Great Bear. He's doing the taunt distraction. He brought the Vengeful Monk. He's got the self. I feel good. Let's find out. The Dread Terrafian with his self heal could be a deciding factor. Let's find out. Everyone's got cripple too. The cripple like might help me more than it helps anybody else because he is a healer, and the cripple diminishes that heal potential. My taunt goes down a lot later than his does, and I still have a big meat shield in front. Well, big is definitely relative. Has 1 hit point left. His magic is still alive and well, but so is mine. He has 6 hit point front line now, which is annoying. Are we going to be okay? I think we might. Yeah. I think we might. And I get to, yes, we're good. Okay, this is the W we were waiting for. We'll claim our rewards, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I unlocked 2 of 3. You're allowed to get 3 per day, and there's 9 hours left before the reset, and then there's 6. Oh, was there a draw? Yeah, check prices. Let's go. We'll check this, and then we'll check that, because I got 12 entries from the Frontier from the last draw, which was a few hours ago, I guess, and there'll be another one within a week. Every week there's draws that can be meaningful, black foil copies of these cards. Let's get these ones. Waterlogged Wizard. This is a strong card. It has low hit points. I really would love to see this thing get leveled up. Plus it's rare. So on my blue team, which I have a level 2 summoner, I can play level 3 rares. No, level 3 commons, level 2 rares. So I can upgrade my Waterlogged Wizard, and that might give him more hit points, or yeah, it's probably more hit points. Dread Teferian. This card I really like for the 2 damage and the 6 mana. Hit points are its weakness, but it's got reach at least. Teferian. and 2 entries. Okay, back to lobby. Let's check the prizes and we'll finish here. Anything I get here would be icing on the cake. I've already been... You've received no credits for the Frontier draw. However, you may still try again by earning... What do you mean? You've received no cards from the Frontier draw. However, you may still try again by earning... Okay, so for the last week's Frontier draw, I didn't get anything. Reward info. Check this out. Somebody got a black foil summoner. Oh my goodness. Dude, that would be so awesome. You're going to soar through the ranks if you pull one of the summoners. Draw number 1 and date. There was 40,000 entries. And if you think about that, across a week of play, let's bring it up for a second. There was 40,016 entries in this last week of participation, and you divide that by 21, which represents 3 entries per day times a week of participation is 21 per account, and you're going to get... There was 1,900 accounts that participated heavily in the Frontier mode of the first week or the last week of participation and that's assuming everyone who played earned 3 a day times 7 per week, and probably that's not true, because many accounts will have earned 1 or 2, gotten bored, gotten busy, couldn't do it, had to skip a day, and so there's probably like 3,000 accounts that are playing, which is really cool. It's indicative of the attention that's being drawn to Splinterlands through Frontier mode. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for your time. God bless.